Wellness warriors, have you ever wondered why it is that we all hate Mondays? We hate school, can't stand dating, and really just run away from dieting? And how these ideas impact the way that we live our lives? Like, for example, why do we hate Mondays? Because it's time to go back to work? Because it's time to be responsible? That we need to behave like adults? Isn't it weird that we don't think that we can have fun while being responsible adults? Wanting to kick Monday to the curb is not new. We talk about it openly all the time. But dieting, not only do we hate it, we hide it. So now we've just added a level of shame. We're going to come back to that. During the week, we spend a lot of our time at work, and you're not even expected to enjoy your job, which is quite the contradiction. Because when you think about it, we encourage our young people to study hard and go to higher education so that they can get the career that they love and that they're going to be making a good salary and enjoying their work day. Because if you love work, it's like you never worked a day in your life. But at the same time, we encourage our kids to be independent at younger and younger ages so they can pay for their own stuff and possibly even move out at a much younger age. And now they're on the treadmill, making money to survive. And if your kid happens to be lucky, they're one of the few that's making enough money that they can buy a few things that help their life to feel somewhat enjoyable. Unfortunately, this sets up a hidden problem that most people fall into. I fell into it, and I'm pretty sure that you fell into it at one point or another. When I first started working, I worked 5 days a week. I worked really hard, like physically hard. And by the time my day was done, I was exhausted. But I still wanted to have fun. So what ended up happening is I spent a good portion of my work week looking forward to the weekends, looking forward to my vacation, because that's when I would have time and energy to have fun. So what ended up happening? The weekend would roll around, and I would spend all of my time learning to play the expensive instrument that I bought, or playing video games, playing sports, or whatever else I decided to invest in. But it didn't feel like it was enough. I was spending 5 out of 7 days at work. That's more than 70% of my week. And I was only getting to have 2 days of fun. I wanted to have fun every day. Where is that fun going to come from? Because at the end of my day, I was exhausted. Well, it came from food. Wellness warrior, if you're like me, you start to look forward to that fun meal. And because I have to eat anyway, well, now I could eat out at lunch with the colleagues, break up my workday. How about having junky snacks and sweet coffees, to give myself an energy boost in the middle of the afternoon? Oh, yeah, and I could have fast food suppers because I'm just too tired by the end of the day to cook anything. And this was my life for years. It helped my week to feel more interesting, right? Or did it give me a dopamine hit that allowed me to think my life was fun when in fact I was just distracting myself with food? And I was doing this while I was waiting for the weekend to come because those were the places that I really got to have fun. The problem is that when the weekend finally rolled around, I was so focused on having fun, eating healthy was the furthest thing from my mind. Remember, dieting is shameful. But what about if you're actively trying to lose weight, like in this moment? Is it possible that you could fall into the trap of eating healthy during the work week and then going off your diet on the weekend? Well, of course you would, because you couldn't possibly have fun while you were being responsible. Wellness warrior, living life focused on what you hate is a trap. Because if you hate it, you're going to avoid it rather than trying to solve it. And when we are avoiding things, we become, so you and me, candidates for people to sell us quick fixes because we're so desperate to get away from whatever this thing is that we're trying to get away from. The shame that you live because you're overweight means you're much less likely to talk about healthy food choices, which now means When you're out with your coworkers, having that midday lunch to break up the day, and everyone else is ordering fun lunch, rather than risk a conversation about why you're ordering that way, you order fun lunch too. And when the weekend rolls around, fun and healthy do not seem compatible. So what do? You put down healthy because I want to have fun. I worked hard all week. I deserve this. The solution is very interesting. It's about acknowledging the lies that we take as fact. Why do you hate your job? Because you're doing work that you're not invested in, you don't like, and possibly you're not getting paid enough for. Why did you hate school? Because you were studying stuff that you didn't have any interest in, and you couldn't possibly see how this stuff you're studying was going to impact your future. Why do you hate dieting? Because you hate the food, you feel different than everybody else, you feel out of control because you really do want to be eating the chocolate bar, but you're, right? And worse, because you hate yourself, because you're fat and dieting is shameful, remember? What's crazy is that you and I know people who love work and love school. They love school enough that even years after completing school, continue to invest in their education. Are these people just unicorns? No, not at all. They love their jobs. They feel connected to what they do. They see what they do as valuable, and they actually enjoy working. And there's a very high probability that they also feel that they're well compensated for the work that they do. And those people that continue to learn, they're learning things that they can apply to their day, so their own lives, and they're learning about things that they can apply to their work. They see the application of what they're learning in their everyday. So how do I enjoy my diet? The first step is allowing yourself to see that you're already on a diet. The standard American diet, Canadian, Caribbean, wherever you happen to live, is a diet that helps you to gain weight. The question I have for you is that the goal you have for yourself? If it isn't, rather than hate it, what I want you to do is address it. How do I eat healthy food that helps me to build and repair my body and live my life at an appropriate weight? Problem solving your diet helps you to remove the stigma and shame that you've been accepting from society. And it gives you a chance to learn about new foods, new ways of cooking your foods and spicing these foods that will taste delicious to you at the same time benefiting your body. This is going to let you be focused on being healthy while your food actually tastes good. And you know what that gives you? It gives you the opportunity to be a healthy version of yourself rather than an unhealthy clone of whoever is sitting beside you in the restaurant eating poor quality food. All of a sudden, eating healthy all the time becomes possible because I love what I'm eating and I'm healing my body at the same time. Adulting. If you want to know more about how you can enjoy your life while being healthy, check out the video right here. Wellness Warrior, I'm always so happy that you come back. If you're new, check out the description for my best videos on how to start healthy keto. I also encourage you to subscribe and ring the bell so that you can get on the road to health. I love making this video for you, and I cannot wait to talk to you again next week.